Hi guys, welcome to So Jannelle. I'm your host Jannelle So, excited once again to bring you a show full of Filipino pride and Filipino inspiration. In fact, our setting today should give you a clue. I am so excited, been looking forward to this day when we actually get to meet the visual father of Baby Groot. I know you guys know Baby Groot, of course, who doesn't, right? But did you know that he was actually created by a phenomenal Filipino artist based on that Filipino artist's own son? Presenting Filipino Pride, Marvel Studios' senior visual development artist, Anthony Francisco, is so cool. Finally here, been looking forward to meeting the visual daddy of Baby Groot, a very exceptional, phenomenal Filipino artist, Anthony Francisco. Are you ready? Let's go. Anthony, we're so happy that you're able to make time for us. I was looking forward to this interview as well because you and what you do are so cool. You are known as the visual father of Baby Groot. How long did it take, Anthony, for your work to be noticed?
It's like a road to Avengers in a way, right? It's you know, I've always liked to do art. And since I was 5 years old, I think X-Men was one of my favorite comic books. I've been doing concept art for 20 years now. At Marvel, I've been there for 9 years. It was an amazing time. I got to work on so many characters that I always loved when I was a kid. Only recently, I think, is when I guess I got popular because of a BuzzFeed article about the Dora Milaje for, you know, Black Panther. Right. So that was the beginning. When I do concept art, I mix all my influences and everything I'm inspired by. So a lot of like African tribal aesthetics mixed with samurai, one of my favorite warriors, right? Plus, you know, the extra spice was the Igorot tribes, you know, and some Filipino beading and stuff like that. So once that blew up, the Philippines started knowing who I am, I guess, and that was awesome because I had almost like all the love and support from my kababayans.
For you, was it a talent that was there by nature, or was it something you had to nurture?
It's not a born gift, like people say. No, I worked hard to improve myself and learn and educate myself more. It is really hard work, but then your work ethic becomes really strong when you love what you're doing. So I wouldn't say I was already good before, because when I look back, I realized I wasn't that good. I was just very delusional that I was good, right? That's what it felt like. And you need that kind of healthy outlook in life, yeah, so that you could do what you would love to do. But, you know, most of the time, art is not really something that would make you a lot of money and stuff. So those are the struggles of almost like a mental hurdle you have to take to not be afraid to do what you love, and then the money will come usually. Hopefully, I got lucky that it happened with me this way, you know.
I love that. What I'm getting from what you said is like I'm hearing from the other Filipino achievers that I've interviewed in the past. Jay Oliva, a good friend of yours also, yes. He said that he didn't know that there was money in what he was doing in art. Yes. Marissa Pizarro, one of the most influential women in music, and certainly the most influential Filipina in music right now, she didn't think that she could make money or make a living off of music in that way. And so that's why she even studied to become a lawyer. And she became a lawyer first. But with you, you also mentioned that you knew that it's not necessarily something that you could raise a family with art.
Yeah.
When did it change for you?
I think when I was doing a class at this place called Associates in Art, when I was already in the United States, and I was taking like some courses in PCC first, and then I saw a pamphlet showing this school called Associates in Art, and they had all professionals teaching there. So when I went there for one class, there's this teacher, his name is Mike Butkus, and he was really nice enough to tell how much he makes. I was like, what? You can make like, you know, from $60 to $150 an hour doing this. But then he did preface it with, it becomes that because you are fast and good and you do things within a certain amount of time, you know, and of course you have to hone that skill as you get better. So that's like, okay, so maybe doing art is, you know, good. And just we didn't know. My parents didn't know, or my relatives or whoever didn't know that like being a director for film or even doing creature design, that creature design, making monsters, actually you get paid for that. I was like, wow, I didn't know that. So when I got into that, and then you start seeing that it does make more than what people, you know, thought, at least a good living, you know. And yeah.
Certainly landing a gig with Marvel Studios and staying for years already, 9 years there, right?
Yeah, this is my 9th year, yeah.
What was that like when you first found out that you got in?
It was awesome because I've been a Marvel comic book geek, I guess, for a while now. But the good thing about it is the people that work there are also my friends. But we didn't know that we'd be at work at Marvel. But when I used to teach, that's how like 4 of them were students of mine. Yeah, but I taught the class with another really good friend, Kevin Chen. So we taught in that class at Noman, and you know, Ryan Meinerding, Andy Park, Jackson Zay, they were all taking our class before. That's how I knew them. And then they all really got good. I mean, they were already good back then. But who would have known where they are now? You know, he's like head of visual development now. And because they needed a creature designer during Guardians of the Galaxy 1, Charlie Wen was co-head of visual development at that time. So he remembered that I was a creature designer, even though I wasn't anymore at that time, not just a creature designer. So that's how I got in Guardians of the Galaxy, and I ended up designing, you know, the little Baby Groot in the pot first, you know. And then from that time on, after they had me on, I ended up doing Baby Groot with the legs, and Baby Groot, Teen Groot, and you know, so on. So that's what I love about Marvel. They make you have ownership of your character.
When you do things like that and you create, do you know how big did you know? No, but I think no one knew like Baby Groot was gonna be so popular, and I wish I knew it, but I don't know. Well, that's an interesting question, because for some of the movies, little by little, we're realizing, oh, this is really good. Like, you know, and then Endgame becomes like 11 days, 1 billion, I think it made in 11 days. And Infinity War, another amazing movie for me as a fan of Marvel, you know. That's when you were knowing that, oh, this is gonna be great. But the first time, my first movie, you know, or even Ant-Man, Doctor Strange, you don't know how big it could be, you know. The Dora Milaje, I had a feeling it was gonna be really good, so I put so much effort in designing Okoye, the general, you know. Like, I really detailed up her costume and stuff, but I'm really glad that Ryan Coogler really liked it and made sure that when it was translated to the film, you know, costumes for the film, that it kept... Stay true, yeah. So from among the creatures that you've created, who are you most proud of?
All of it. So I just like all of it. But of course, obviously, the favorite would be Baby Groot, because it's based on my kids,
yes.
my son.
How did the idea come about to base it off of your children, your son?
In the beginning of Guardians of the Galaxy 2, James Gunn wanted like a toddler type, you know, body type. So I was looking for reference, but most of the reference, if you type toddler, has like a diaper on them, and he would move kind of in an awkward way. But in the script, he dances in the opening scene. So I ended up using my son's 3-year-old body type, because when he was 3, he was already like doing interesting moves, and that's how it worked out. Sometimes I don't realize, or it just doesn't feel like I'm there. It feels surreal, and only little hints of moments at work when we all just go, hey, you know, Marvel is huge, and we're like part of this movement. Of course, we're standing over shoulders of giants of the comic book industry, kind of just translating their work into film, and I have to give it to them. You know, Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, and without them, I wouldn't have, you know, my dream job.
Not just coming out, giving us pride as Filipinos, you're also collaborating with fellow Filipinos. In your Instagram, you interviewed Budget Tan. You interview, you know, fellow Filipinos. You are proud to represent.
I am. You know, it's a very interesting feeling now, slowly becoming part of this community, seeing other Filipinos and talking about them and their accomplishments. And now that I don't have a lot of followers on Instagram, but enough that I could, you know, maybe inspire more people from the Philippines. Well, actually all around the world.
How much of your Filipino-ness comes out in your designs?
I think a lot of it, in the beginning of my career anyway, even now I would say, but a lot of it came out in my creature designs because, you know, growing up in the Philippines, I love listening to the ghost stories of the white lady and the anong tawag doon? Tikbalang. Capres, yeah.
Right.
Yung manananggal.
Yeah.
And the balite tree with the white lady over there. I remember all those. It was scary, but I loved horror stuff a lot. So the Philippines had a lot of that.
So what's on the horizon for you?
Like 8 shows in development that I'm doing, but 3 of them I've finished doing my pitch packages, and I have actually a script and a show Bible and stuff for my Filipino folklore series, you know, and it was called Encanto, but there's an Encanto name already out there, so like I'm not sure, I need to probably change the name.
Right.
But
Nuno.
No, yeah. Maybe Salamanquero, that's a national movie, right?
Salamanquero,
yeah.
yes.
That's something in the Philippines I remember watching. I feel like now because of the time we live in, and people want to see more different takes on, you know, fantasy, that it's time for, you know, Filipinos to talk about it. Yeah.
So what do you think is the best thing about being Filipino?
There's so many things. I guess it's hard to. One thing I know, that a lot of Filipinos are really friendly. So we're always
Warm.
Yeah, and think of the positive side for things, and that's like a strong like quality we have. Being a concept artist is not about getting the right design the first time.
Right.
Even if you're not an artist, even if it's just something you want to do in your life, to understand that it's a journey and you will fail and you'll succeed. Just keep your mind, you know, on your goal, and I believe you will still succeed.
So for those who are not very familiar, what is the process? Like, what process do you have when you draw?
This design for the Dora Milaje, this is the actual approved version.
Wow.
That was given to Ryan Coogler, and he really loved it. Luckily, the coordinators working on the project, he told me how they reacted to it.
How did they react?
So he said he almost fell off his seat. It was like when he saw it, it's like, wow, that's amazing.
Right. I can see some. It reminds me a little bit of the Igorot.
Yes.
Right? The Ifugao, right? Yeah.
After the director approves the design, it's brought to the costume department, and then they take the design and make it look amazing on the actor.
Right.
So it's like bringing it more to life. They think it's already something that's been created, but it's all it's all in the design process of Marvel Studios visual development team. Yeah, sometimes we even start designing before the script is even there or before the director is even hired.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how far back. Sometimes a year and a half in advance we're already designing stuff.
Right.
I don't know when, but I can say I was working on Black Panther 2, Ant-Man 3, and Garcia, and Captain Marvel 2. Yeah, so
those are huge. And you're working on major characters?
Yes, I got lucky. I've been lucky last year that it kind of spills off to this year. We work on some of the movies for more than 8 months sometimes, you know. But yeah, I got some really major characters there, so I can't wait for you guys to see it.
Now, you did say that when you were starting, you weren't really a good drawer or designer, and it was something that you honed. So
Yes.
I feel like there's hope for me.
Yes, of course.
Do you think you can
I believe
teach me how to draw?
everyone can draw. You know,
Right.
that's what I believe. As long as you have the right direction and get the right habits. I have to say, one of my resumes I could say is my wife paints really well now and draws really well, and she's never drawn before.
And you taught her.
And I taught her. Yes,
So
that's
I'm interested in Baby Groot, of course.
drawing Baby Groot in the pot. He has this big head. And then you do one line, jaggedy line, and then another line that connects.
Okay.
Yes, it's still there. And you got the eyes like this. And then the smile on the side. So here you have the pot. And then you have that, right? And
Okay.
then that's a basic
Baby Groot.
Baby Groot. Perfect. There. See, you've got Baby Groot.
Yay!
Yay! So looks like right? Right?
Yes! Now, do you want me to sign this for you?
Yes. So if you guys want to join me and learn how to design creatures and get better with your art, please join me at Nas Academy and take my class, my course, online course, Draw from Your Imagination.
Because I made you work, we're gonna snack.
We got a snack.
Thankfully, McDonald's has this promo now. It's called 2 for $3.50. You can actually mix and match the sandwiches. They have 3 sandwiches that you choose from. You pick 2. So they have the McChicken, the hot and spicy McChicken, and the McDouble. And you pick any 2 combinations for the price of $3.50.
Wow.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.